everybody, welcome to Deja Vu Creations. I am Nevaeh, and today I am going to talk to you about this outfit that I have made a couple of days ago in Marvelous Design. I even did this texture that I did in here as well to go along with the outfit. I did add a few little things on here for her so that it'll look a little bit better instead of just plain Jane. But this is what I had added. So you can add different things too as well. I even did the neck up here, which is usually just a regular, just like the regular color, but I wanted to do a little something different. But this is what I had made a couple days in Marvelous Design. I do have a video recording of this outfit so that you can see how it was made. So let's go ahead and get started, and we'll go over what I had done. Okay, so now that we're back here in Marvelous Design, I went ahead and got the Maitreya body. I do have all the other ones, which I am going to do next, and I'm going to do them one day at a time. So I am going to start off with Maitreya, since I have Maitreya as my body, and those are the type of clothes I wear. So we'll do Maitreya, then we'll do Slink and E-Body, Cupra, and Beliza. I think that's how you say it, but we'll do each one of them. So what I want to do, I always like to have my avatar like a different color just so that I can see my clothing a little better. And the way that you can do that is just go over here to color under the normal map. You can change your avatar to a different color if you like. I always like to either do the brown looking color or the black, just because I can see it a lot better. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make a short, what do you want to call it, jumpsuit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off in, give me 1 second. Oops, didn't mean to do that. The polygon, and we're going to make some shorts first, and then we'll attach it to the jumpsuit. Okay. Let me go ahead. What I always like to do is start up here with like a little line, go down here, bring it on down, move it over, and voila. Okay. Now what you want to do is just take your little curvature tool. Oh my gosh, I couldn't get that out. Bring that down just a bit. Actually, what I want to do, Control Z, 1 second. I'm going to bring this down just a little more. There we go. Bring this down and just curve it in like so. Okay. And then I think what I'm going to do too is just bring this out just a little more. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that dot. Delete point. Up just a bit. There we go. Okay, and then go ahead and highlight the whole thing. Press copy and mirror paste. There we go. You want to sew these two together. Okay, and then go ahead and press, highlight them both. Go ahead and press copy and then paste. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take these, put them behind the avatar's buttocks. Bring it right over here, flip them horizontally. We'll just right click it. Okay, and then what you want to do, make sure these are close together, okay, close by the avatar's body, because if you don't, they're going to just go right to the floor. So go ahead and kind of bring it up here a little bit more, like so. Go. All right, now what we want to do, go ahead and sew these. We're going to sew this. Make sure it's the right one. I believe it is. You can always check too if you're not sure. And it looks like maybe, yep, it is. I always get those kind of confused. So, okay, and then sew these, sew this. Okay, and make sure everything is sewed together. All right. And before I do this, before I sew them, or before I simulate, I'm going to go ahead and make a rectangle. So hold down this button right here, don't let go, and then finally let go. Go ahead and push it down. Rectangle, like that. I'm going to move this down just a bit, okay, so that I can have this for my belt area. Go ahead and press copy, paste. So bring this one back around. Flip horizontally. Go ahead and move these down just a bit. Go. All right, so this part here, let me go to the front and make sure you're on the right one. So what you want to do is just highlight it and just touch it and it'll show you which one you're on. So go ahead and go to the sewing, hold down the sewing and then hold shift and then just bring this down and move over and it's sewed. Go ahead and do the same with the back. Hold down shift, click, and click. Okay, and then we want to make sure these get sewed together. This sewed together. Now let's just adjust it just a little bit, kind of line it together. Pull these in together. And in. Bring this down just a bit. I don't want it up on our boob area. Okay. Voila, voila. Okay, go ahead and simulate. Voila. All right. All right. So now what we need to do is our top. So what we're going to do, we are going to go up here, make this a polygon. Remember, push that down. Go ahead and go to the polygon. We're going to make like a little neck. Go down, down. What I want to do is kind of bring it down as close as it possibly can. I can always stretch it down, so no big deal. This down like so. Sew that together. Babe, can you not whistle while I'm talking? Because I'm talking right now. Love you too. Okay. Okay, so those two together. And let's go ahead and copy. I just wanted to test it and see what it looked like. Oops. Why did that do? Control Z. Copy. Paste. There we go. That was kind of strange. Okay. Flip horizontally. Obviously it. There we go. Now we're going to just sew these together. Like so. Remember, we can always adjust things if it's not right, so no big deal. Okay, did we sew that part to the back? No, we did not. Make sure that is sewed, okay? I'm going to simulate it. Now, it doesn't look too bad. What we can do, if you don't want this belt looking too bulky, like thick part, we can always shrink that down. That's no big deal. I also want to make this, it doesn't look too bad. There's just some things I kind of want to maybe adjust the length to it. Bring it down, just see what it looks like. And I really want to adjust this belt. Okay, do a little more. I'm gonna bring these out just a bit. There we go. Now it's looking a little better. And what we can do is I want to raise these short short pant part. The pant part, I want to make it a little bit shorter. So let me bring these down just a bit. Go ahead and just kind of move it up just a bit. A little more. I want to give it that little bit of a sexy look. Remember, we still haven't even done the particle distance, and we still haven't gave it any kind of texture to it yet. So once we do all that, it'll look a little bit better. I also want to, why don't we go ahead and do that? So let's make 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is going to be the top. Sorry, I like mine capital. Top. I know it's probably not that big of a deal, but for me, it is. Belt, shorts, I can spell. Okay, so for the top, I want to, and this is just for, your UV. I wanted to do something different with this whole thing, so before we do that, let's go ahead and highlight. Let's just make sure this is how we want it. I mean, we could go a little shorter if we wanted to. It's totally up to you guys. What I could do, hang on, that and go. I think that's right. Okay. Also, that looks pretty good. What I want to do too, real quick. Can't really see it because it's not in color. So what I'm going to do, let's just color these real quick. Red. Now we're going to go over here to UV editor, highlight everything again, shrink it down because we want it to fit into this box right here. Okay, you can even make it a little bit bigger. We're just going to organize it a little bit better so it looks somewhat better. All right, go ahead and highlight, go to UV, and then we need to put these in a place where we're going to remember. So let's do, I'm going to make a folder just for shorts. I need to reorganize everything. Shorts, yes, I've done all these. Some of them are trials and stuff like that, testers. So I'll call this the short bodysuit. Short body suit. Copy. New folder. Paste. Okay. Go ahead and click on it, and then go ahead and save, and then save again, and then you can close. Go back to UV. Go back to simulation. Now, before we do anything, I just want to bring up something real quick. Okay, so when you go in here where you saved it, this is what it's going to look like for right now. But when you go to export it, it'll have that color of your texture that you got on right now. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. So what we're going to do, we're going to export this just real quick, and then we can texturize this too. Okay, so we got all the little lines from doing the thing. Everything looks good. Okay, go ahead and highlight it again just to simulate it one more time. Okay, now everything looks good. What I always like to do before I export into my folder, I like to double check everything, just to make sure everything looks good. Then I like to go up here. I go and save as a garment. This way I have it in here for if I want to go back and rechange things or update it or whatever, you can do that, and it'll be over here in your garment area. So like for instance, if you go to your, where is it, my garments. So it gives you the different pose of how it looks. Okay. So now that we've done that, go ahead and export, and you want to do OBJ is selected, what you have selected. Go and find where you last saved the UV. So mine was actually in the shorts. Where are my shorts? There we are. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and put my short bodysuit. Save. Okay, and this is how you want it to be saved. Okay, just exactly like this. Exactly like that. Okay, and then press OK. All right. So once you have that saved, this is how it's going to look. See how I wanted to have this? So when you go to do your textures, you can go ahead and bring it into Photoshop and it'll look just like this. Okay. Now, what we can do, since we saved it like that, I'm going to go ahead, because this is how I like to do mine. I go to text, I put textures right here, another folder for it, and keep it just like that. So I kind of wanted to see what it looks like, because I like to do this. I'm going to go ahead and put these back to white, because if you don't, the texture is not going to look, it's not going to come through normally, the normal way. So let me go ahead and put these back. All right, I'm going to start with the top, and then I'm going to go right here where it says texture. Go ahead and press those 4 dots, and let's just bring in some type of texture. Let's do, I like stripes, so we're going to do stripes on this one. I do want to fix this here real quick. Sorry. Up just a bit. Okay. That looks alright. It's not the greatest. Let's see, what else do we have for texture? Select all of it. Export OBJ selected. We're just gonna put that in textures. Paste and save. Oh, I love you too, babe. Okay, so here is my one that we saved. Okay, so whenever we go to upload it into Second Life, we can just go ahead and attach it in there. Okay, go ahead and take that out. Now I am going to go ahead and get into this was my one. I'm just going to X out that real quick. Let me bring up my a fresh clean blender. Okay, and so whenever I do my A poses, by the way, I always do my A poses in 2.72 blender. We are going to close this one out because I did save it. We're going to bring it over to this over here because I've already got it all figured. Make sure you take off this one where it says rigging piercing. Do not have that in there. And also another thing that you want to make sure that you do not have on is the right up here where it says avatar 0.001. Make sure you, because most of the time these are selected, unselect that bento hands rigging, okay? Because it will not work whenever you have that on. So go ahead and go to another tab, bring in your garment. Mine is okay, so I just want to kind of go over something real quick. If you guys do not have the A-pose rig set, we can go over that in another video and I can show you how to do that. For the Maitreya, for the Slink, all those other different dev kits that are out there. So that this way, when you do make an outfit, all you have to do is select that blender that is already made for the outfit, and it'll just automatically come on into the blender. So we can definitely go over that in another video. Okay, so if you're kind of lost on how I got to my blender rig set, that's how I did it. So I'll just go over that with you guys in another video. All right, thanks. Select your rig, select the garment. There we go. So select the rig, select the garment. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to skinning, select bones, attach, unselect the attached sliders, go ahead and bind to armature. But remember what I told you, make sure rig and then the mesh, okay, and then bind to armature. Okay. Select the mesh, select the body, select the hands, select the feet. Only make sure those are selected. Do not make sure the rig is not included. Go ahead and press join. Okay, so once that is joined, Go ahead and click the body. Go ahead and go to copy, apply, select the rig, go to pose, go to pose, go to apply, and apply pose as rest pose. Okay. Okay, go back to object mode and select everything. Okay, select the body, go ahead and press tab and select everything, which is A. Go ahead and click L, 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 L. Only the garment is what you're going to be selecting. And the way that you get to this way, by the way, you make sure you press tab. I forgot to tell you that. Okay, and let me go back real quick because I'll make sure you guys know what you're supposed to be doing. Okay, so select the body, select tab, okay, and then make sure everything is selected on the garment. So just press L, 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 and the belt. Excuse me. Okay, and then press P, and then selection. Go ahead and go back to object. Okay, unselect everything. Select your body. Select the mesh. Go to weight paint mode. And then just go to transfer weight. So right here. Once that's transferred. So let's make sure that everything got transferred over. Select the rig. Go to pose mode. I always like to double check this just to make sure. It looks good. Do the arms. Always make sure you do the arms, even though it really doesn't have much to do with, the no garment on here, but I always like to do it. Okay. Everything looks good. Go back to object mode and select everything. So select the garment, the body, and then go over here and press join. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring in another avatar. It's going to be a Maitreya. Okay, so I like to unselect everything in here. Okay, just select everything onto the right side except for the body and the hands and the feet. Everything else can go. Okay, and then once we get done with that, we'll go ahead and start bringing our A pose into the T pose. So once you get all these aligned to the T pose, and I'm going to go ahead, oops. Okay. Go and select the body, go to copy, go to apply, and then bring in the rig, and then select the bones, go to pose, and apply, pose. Now, check that. Awesome. Looks good. Okay. Now, go ahead and click on the body. You're going to press tab. Go and select L, 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 L. Select P, selection, go to object, go ahead and select just the garment. Okay, make sure that's all correct. Okay, oh, you know what? Before I export this, I want to go to do my solidify because I like a solidify whenever I'm doing my clothes. It's just my personal preference. You do not have to do it. So what I do is always go to solidify, then I go to the thickness, and I bring it down to a -10. Okay, and then press apply. Now, just because it gives it a thicker texture and it looks better, go to File, Export, and export it as a Claudia. Go to where I have my outfit, and I want to make sure it is the way I have it named, short bodysuit. Okay, go ahead and export it as a Claudia, and just wait for it. Okay, and then go ahead and bring these down to a 0. You're only going to do these two. Don't do the top one. Don't even mess with the top one. Okay, and then go ahead and calculate the weights. And before you calculate the weights, just want to show you what you did for your weight painting. This is what this was all about. So all that is in there. Okay, go ahead and calculate weights and fees. Usually it's about 12, 14, so which mine's 12. It's usually around that price each time you bring in an outfit. So now that we got that, go ahead and try on your outfit. Okay. And then go ahead and add the texture that we just did in Marvelous Design. And remember, you can always go in and redo that texture in Photoshop. It doesn't have to be like this. So it's just giving you something so that you can have whenever you load it in. Okay, and then what you want to do, go ahead and move her around to make sure everything looks good. Usually I make her like dance around so that I can see if there's any holes that may be coming through. Everything looks pretty good. Actually, it looks really good. Even those seams have came in that we put on there. So that looks even really good. The only thing is that line that I was talking about with the texture. That's why I said it's best just to go ahead and take it in, bring it into Photoshop and do it. But those seams came through like we did. So, yep, they all came through. So that's perfect. And if you ever want to go back and redo your texture, you can definitely do that and just go and save it in Marvelous Design. You can always redo it. So that is it, guys. So thanks again for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped you out a little bit with designing these textures and stuff and making this little outfit. But at least you got to see that and learn how to make a short bodysuit. And it works. It flows really good with her dancing, so I'm happy about it. All right, guys. Thanks again for watching, and hope you have a wonderful night. See you later.